golden age of fixing ourselves. Scroll on your phone right now. You'll see 1,000 experts telling you how to solve climate change, how to battle depression, how to succeed after failing. But the theme of this event is beyond square. And that poses a terrifying question. Suppose you solve climate change. Suppose you fix your depression. Suppose you succeed. Now what? Most people stop there. They reach this point of stability and they say, I'm enough. They don't want more. They're happy to be here and they don't want to take up any more space. But I'm here to tell you that enough is the enemy of beyond. So I learned this distinction when I was 16 years old. The position of house captain opened up in my school. Our house had been on a 5 year losing streak, and I knew that I had the ideas to turn it around. But when the time came for me to put my name forward, I froze. I said it would be arrogant of me to think that I could do what others can't. I knew that I had the ideas, but I thought that there were people that were more naturally social than me. And I said, no, I'm not going to run. It sounded so incredibly humble, but it was all a lie. It was humility that was masking the lack of courage that I had. And the turning point came not in some grand cinematic moment, but rather when my friend told me, Amir, there are people far less qualified than you that are living the life that you want to live simply because they had the ego and they believed in themselves and they took action for themselves. So, what did I do? I ran for the position and I took it. And when we eventually won, because, like, you know, it wasn't because I was the perfect leader, it was because I had the ego and I knew that I would take absolute lone responsibility for whatever happens next. And I refused to let us lose. But society doesn't like the concept of an ego. Society says that ego is a sin. Ego is something that you need to push down, something that you need to suppress. But I think that we are confusing ego with pride. Pride is vulnerable. Pride is fragile. Pride requires constant applause. Ego, on the other hand, ego is an internal engine. Ego is something that looks at the gap between who you are and who you could be and demands that you close it. There is a philosophy in football regarding the role of striker, the person whose sole job is to score the goal. Our entire lives, we are taught that we should share the credit, we should be polite, and we should pass the ball. But when time's running out, the pressure is agonizing, and you're 1-0 down, you have to take the shot, right? No. Most people, they pass the ball because they're scared. They're scared of what happens if I take the shot and I miss, then the blame's on me. Most people pass the ball not because they don't believe in themselves, but because they are afraid of what other people will think about them. Okay, so now you all have an ego. But say that tonight you leave and you unleash your ego. Society is going to push back, remember, because society thinks ego is a sin. Society is going to push back, and some people will call you arrogant. But this is where we must draw a hard line in the sand. Because being egotistical doesn't mean that you become a selfish jerk. It means that you develop vision. It means that you see the soul, the lone path to taking the goal, to taking the shot for the goal, and you accept absolute responsibility for it. The ultimate paradox of an egoist is this: the most egotistical thing that you can do for yourself is to be wildly kind to the people around you. What do I mean by this? A person that is truly confident in themselves, an egoist, does not feel the need to put others down, does not feel the need to dismiss their work, but rather is confident in themselves. That is what an egoist does. So stop starving your ego. Feed your ego, but feed it with the right things. Feed it with responsibility, feed it with standards, and feed it with the undeniable belief that you alone are capable of solving the problems that plague us today. The world has enough people who are content with surviving. The world has enough people who are content with just existing and hiding behind fake humility. What we need now are people who are willing to do what no one has done before and go places where no one has gone before. And that requires an ego. So feed your hunger, feed your audacity, and feed your ego. Take the shot and go beyond. Thank you.